Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia. You're going to see like some fluctuations in the lighting because it's still dark out. I had to get started early to make sure that I was telling you everything. So for those of you who are new, welcome to Senior Insights. And just come in. We have a meeting generally every Saturday. Sometimes we can't do it on Saturday. We just can't do it because for some reason. It's usually my fault. It's usually a technical thing or I'm on vacation or something. But we have it just about every single week. And what I do is I talk about, I kind of bring you up to date on what's going on with the channel. And that's it, really. So this week I started with last week's board meeting. And last week's board meeting was called What Happened This Week. I could call this What Happened This Week too, because that's what we talk about. But YouTube doesn't like you to name the video the same thing, so I can't keep calling. We can call it the board meeting, but I can't put that on the thumbnail or on the title. So you've probably been noticing that I have been posting videos at different times, different than I usually do. And for those of you that's a problem, I hope it's not, because I know that it can disrupt. We've all gotten into, routines and habits, and it can disrupt our lives, because I talk about rituals and doing the same thing, but now I'm changing it. And the reason I'm changing it is because I have been studying when the videos get the most views. And obviously, one of my goals and one of your goals is to have more subscribers to join our community. So I want to try and post the videos where I get the most views. And lo and behold, it seems to be true. I haven't consistently done it, and I've done different things, because the bottom line is I want this channel to grow. But I want it to grow because of you and me, not because of all these YouTube gurus that tell you what to do. I don't want that. I want it to be our channel, and I want us to get excited about growing it. And so that's why I'm playing around with the times. If it's confusing to you, just watch it at the same time that you always watch it. And we'll still be here in the morning for coffee, because it might be posted like really late the night before or something. Don't pay any attention to that. Pretend you didn't notice that. I've been doing a couple of shorts. I don't know how they're working, but I'm trying it out. And I didn't do any lives this week. The lives actually are a lot of fun, and the one we had at Thanksgiving was really awesome for those who were able to make it. But for some reason, the week went by. I told you, the time is flying. It's just whipping by. So I should shut my mouth and start talking about what we're talking about. So I'm back to last week's board meeting. Everyone loved the Christmas Village scene that Karen Myers let me post. So I was thrilled with that, and it was a beautiful scene. I think there were 3 or 4 pictures, and it was really very, very nice. Jillian, apparently I had said something in the meeting about make sure you maintain your car, and she said she took my car warning to heart, and she had her car taken care of. You have to take care of your car. Absolutely, positively, you have to take care of your car, because I have ruined 2 cars, 2 good cars, 2 perfectly healthy cars, by not doing the oil changes when they were due. And Caroline, she did the same thing with an old Camaro. So it can happen to the best of us. Caroline, I'm back to her again. She talked about, we had a few things like Dear Heart Studios, she walked into the grocery store with her son, and she had her raincoat on backwards or inside out or something. And he had to remind her. I drove over my daughter-in-law's in-laws' lawn in the pitch dark, and Caroline says that she wrecked her Camaro. So she gave them each scores, and she thought we should score our misdemeanors. Mine was only 10. The one who wore a coat backwards, it was 5, but blowing up your car, that was 10. Diane Thistlewood dumped her whole junk drawer. She didn't declutter it, she just dumped it. And she said, well, that's what my kids are going to do anyway. She's right. We should probably just do that. Forget all this decluttering stuff. Just throw it away. Dawn Rock, I think I did something about, could we have a GoFundMe page so I could have a facelift? And she said she calls her face melting skin. She calls it, her face is melting down. That must be what's happening. Catherine, Fabulous 60, it was her first board meeting last week, and I think she had a good time. I've seen her on the videos ever since, so she was wondering if she got a star or nothing. No, somebody should have warned her that there's no compensation for coming except for the pleasure of coming in our company. So if that doesn't fit it for you. Carla, it was her first board meeting too. And she, get this, she wore her PJs to the board meeting. Well, I think we decided at one time that you could, that it was okay, because sometimes we meet kind of early. And Bernice, I loved this. She said he was watching the video, and we were talking about spouses who bring their spouse coffee in bed, and he was watching, and she said she saw a smile on his face. She reminded us that he has Alzheimer's, and that before he got sick, he would always ask her if he could get her some coffee. So I thought that was kind of nice. She said he's doing pretty good on the medication he's on, but we all know what a trial, what a, I don't know what you would call it. And then I did that book review on 27 Years Alone. Well, that was very interesting. The response to that was really, he's not a good man because he's a thief, and stealing is a sin, obviously. And other people thought he was kind of resilient. Some people just thought that the story was interesting. They all thought that the storyteller was fantastic. But you know what the storyteller didn't do? She didn't tell you the end of the story. So at the end of this story, I'm going to update you with that. And we're not going to have Christmas pictures. I'm just going to have a couple pictures of him so you can visualize him a little bit more if you're at all interested. But I'll tell you what happened to him after he got caught. Some people talked about their own loneliness and how they're not hearing from family and they don't expect to, and how hurtful it is. Lena says, families have become fragmented. Northern Sparrow says, I can't read my writing. Oh, she didn't have much good to say about the 27-year Hermit, because she lives in an RV, and you have to be really careful because people do break into RVs and they stalk them, and she said he was a voyeur, and he was. I didn't look at it that way when I was reading it, but he was watching his victims. He would learn their habits, figure out when was the best time to go in there. And Woody wanted to know, was he put in prison? Did he come out of his state of hermetism or whatever? So Woody, if you're watching, hang in there and we'll talk about it later. Then the next video was It Never Stops. It's like, you know, your water faucet leaks and then your toilet explodes, or, you know, there's always something. And I have those days all the time, and I usually share them with you. I hope you're not getting sick of them, because I have so many of them. That helps me fill up at least one day of videos. And you know what? That kind of video was the viral video, the famous viral video. It was Why I Never Leave the House. Well, it happens over and over and over again. Kathy's husband, Kathy the quilter, and the person who did Quinn's little watercolor painting that I usually have on here, I put it away for now. Excuse me. Her husband's getting a new knee this week, so, or he got a new knee, so we should keep them, you know, in our prayers at noontime, because I've had a knee replacement, and it's tough. We have another person who's going to have a knee replacement on the 11th. Nan is going to have, well, she's going to have knee surgery. I just assumed it was knee replacement, but I don't know. Maybe she's having something else. But she's having something on the 11th, so let's try and, you know, just keep them. And guess what? Debbie Sue is back. I was so glad. She had a video today, and I was so happy to see her. She looked like she was tired. She had a few little kinks in her hospitalization, but she says she's doing fine. And her sister was babysitting her because her husband had to go out. So if you have a chance, she did her story today because she posted those in advance of her having to have her surgery. So that's about it for the, you know, It Never Stops. Something's always going on. Then the next one was One Cup Changed Christmas, and that was just talking about, you know, trying to focus on the small things, trying to take time for yourself, trying to be mindful, remember that. We're trying to be mindful, we're trying to be intentional, we're trying to pay attention to the small things so that we can appreciate those, because, you know, more and more of us are getting discouraged, lonely, sad, all those things. So we have to find ways that we can get pleasure. I want to welcome Nico. I don't know. I think it's a man. He says his wife had a stroke 2 years ago, and he's been watching all the time, but I've never noticed that he's commented. And I don't know if it's a he or a she, so the name is Nico. And I just want him to feel welcome, because he's new, but he loves it. He said it's a bright spot in his day, because it's pretty tough. His wife had a stroke a couple of years ago. She can't talk, she can't eat, she's paralyzed, she has to have tube feedings, the whole gamut. So, you know, he didn't say if she was in a facility or if he was taking care of her at home. I kind of got the impression that that's what the case was. Northern Sparrow, you know, from Arizona right now, she says that mindfulness is a gateway to peace. That's what they say. That's what I've discovered when I've deliberately been trying to take just a few minutes, like with the coffee, with the tea, just for myself. Not even for you guys. I put you on the back burner while I take care of myself. And Carolyn thinks we should, because we had a discussion about Christmas decorating and stuff, and it seems as though quite a few do decorate and quite a few don't. Quite a few have downsized, but people have been storing their Christmas decorations for a long time and haven't been using them, and she thinks that we should maybe open up a store. Maybe if I ever have a storefront on this channel, we can sell our own Christmas decorations. And this one I thought was cute. Sandy Smith, she has a 4-foot tinsel tree. How cool is that? Those are very in vogue now. They're very sought after. She could probably get a pretty penny if she's having financial difficulties because they're vintage. And Hillary, she wasn't too keen on us talking about coffee, but her favorite drink is Sprite. So while she was watching and relaxing and taking time for herself, she was having Sprite Zero. And then this one, I hope you didn't think it was too weird, but what will seniors do next? We'll do anything. We're capable of anything. But it was a silly thing because I had started out investigating like extreme sports or hobbies for seniors, and I came across extreme ironing. It just struck me funny. It was when I was talking to my friend Dorothy, and she said she was still in her nightgown because she had ironers. Her slip was in the washroom. Who wears a slip? And it was surprising. Somebody said they had a slip, and they had a couple of slips, and they hadn't worn them in 20 years. Somebody else said it would be really funny if I put my slip over my jeans. And the extreme, no one thought my idea of doing extreme ironing in the spring was a good idea. Nobody jumped on the wagon. They'll see what they miss. You'll have to remind me next spring that I said I would do it outside. By then, who knows where we're going to be at. Susan Welch, she got a ceramic tree like that, but a green one, I'm assuming. And it didn't have the lights, but it had the holes and everything. It was the ceramic tree. Do you know how much money she paid for it? 75 cents in a Goodwill shop. She said she brought it up to the counter and there was no price on it, and the guy said, oh, 75 cents. Those trees are highly sought after as well, which is kind of funny. That one is so awkward to store because it's in 3 pieces and it's tall and there's no box that's made for it or no tote that I have found that can keep it safe. But I've managed so far. It's over. I probably made it in the 1970s, so it's pretty old. Piano Gal asked to see Faithy's bathroom. So I have those pictures too. So I think, well, maybe I'll show them both. I'll show you the Hermit and I'll show you Faithy's bathroom. What a combination. Maybe Faithy is a hermit too. She doesn't know it. But that's what I'm going to do because people wanted to see. She has one of those folding ironing boards, which are really cool. This one is really funny. Catherine's husband thought he was buying her a black nightie. Remember those days? Now they wear sweatpants and stuff to bed. I don't know what's going on with this generation. But he thought he was buying her a black nightie. And it was a black half sleeve. Oh, and then Lena, she looked up petty pants because she didn't know what they were. She knew what a half slip and a full slip was, but she didn't know what petty pants were. And so she put in a whole lengthy description of what petty pants are. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically petty pants are like long shorts. And the word is derived from petticoats. So you wear petty pants instead of or in place of a slip. So they're almost like, I can remember my grandmother wearing like long bloomers. Do you ever remember that? They were like long-legged shorts. They were cotton. I don't know if she ironed hers. And I was so disappointed because we talked about how you position your ironing board. Everybody does it different. One would say, I have this to the left and that to the right. And the next one would say, I have this to the right and this one. I mean, it was probably equal. And I never really thought about it when I was asking you to do that. But I think that I flip it according to what I'm ironing. That's what I think. But I'm not about to try and iron something right now. Dorothy still irons and she loves it. And Dawn Birmingham, she still irons and she loves it. A lot of people talked about how they ironed in the past and that they did find it relaxing. Some people said, don't ever show me an iron again. I have no interest in it. A lot of people said, my dryer is my iron. That's the only iron I need. So I meant to look this up because Catherine the Fabulous, she said she thinks that there was a photograph that the paparazzi took of Princess Di, and I guess she didn't have a slip on. I don't know. I don't remember it, and I intended to look it up before I started this video, but I didn't because y'all came too soon. So, anyway, so that's what has happened this week. The subscriber number has gone up. We have some new subscribers. The shorts have had some good views, a good amount of views. And you guys are wonderful. When I was preparing for this, I was reading all the comments, and I was getting kind of misty-eyed. That happens to me sometimes because I get overwhelmed with the nice things that you say. I mean, I am really fond of you all. You are all extremely important to me. You have no clue. And I know I've said that before. And I'll probably get misty-eyed if I keep talking about it. So I don't want to embarrass myself because my kids, maybe they watch it and they'll say, oh, she gets weepy now when she's doing her YouTube. Anyway, keep commenting. Share this with your friends. I hope you subscribe and you like it if you're not subscribed. And hype it if you can, because that will bring us up too. You can only do 3 hypes, and I'm not expecting you to give all your hypes to me. But somebody, expect a miracle. She sent me a picture. She had a printout of her most viewed videos. Senior Insights was on the top. It was number 1. So that's pretty cool. So just hang in here, and I'm going to do, there's going to be a picture of Faithy's laundry room, and there's going to be a picture of the Hermit. Oh, and I was going to tell you what happened to the Hermit. Do I have time? It's already 23 minutes. I'll tell you really quickly because I want to get rid of this. He was captured in 2013 at the Boy Scout camp, or at the summer camp. It was a summer camp for disabled kids, so that's kind of a strike right there. He pleaded guilty to 13 counts of burglary and theft, and he was sentenced to just 7 months in jail. And he had already served a lot of it while he was waiting sentencing. And he also had to enter into a special rehabilitation court program for people with substance abuse or mental illness. I didn't read anything about him being a substance abuser, but he stole some alcohol at one point, I know that. But they did diagnose him as schizoaffective, and that he might be on the autism spectrum. He also had to pay over $1,500 for repair of the private road that they had to clean out his site because it was pretty bad. You'll see in the pictures that I show you. And after he got out of jail and out of his court thing, he was on 3 months probation, where he was drug tested and he had to, reconnect with his probation officer or something. I think it was pretty regularly, like once a week. And initially he lived in his mother's home and his family home. He had the same room that he had as a child He isolated himself in the room, but he did work for his brother, who was a mechanic. And but he's maintained a very low profile. There's not an awful lot else about him after he got out of jail and after his sentence. The court record said that it was highly unlikely that he would reoffend, but who knows? I often thought that he probably would because he was so antisocial and so much of a hermit. But so it's not clear where he is or what his daily life is like, and he wants to remain anonymous, and his family does not talk about it either. So if you knew who his family was, they wouldn't talk to you if you approached him. So I'll show you the pictures of him and Faithy's laundry room. And I will see you, not Sunday, but Monday.